I don't really have a title yet for this video, but whenever you get an AEV and a Tremor together, you just gotta film them. You just got to. Both of these trucks are available. I borrowed them from Jerry Seiner Chevrolet and Larry H. Miller Super Ford in Salt Lake City. Be sure to check out their inventory and let them know you saw the video. Now let's go ahead and figure out a title for this video. I think I figured out what we're going to title this video, so let's go ahead and get into it. Here's what Ford could learn from Chevy and what Chevy can learn from Ford. So let's go ahead and start off on the Chevy side. So Chevy refreshed this truck for 2024, and not only that, they added this ZR2 trim package to the lineup. Now this one here is not the regular standard ZR2. This one is. I do love both iterations, but these are the standard bumpers, and I think that they've done a great job even with just the base model ZR2. Now the AEV Bison package takes it a step higher. You get these off-road bumpers with these steel recovery hooks. You get a ton of protection under the truck compared to the regular ZR2, including you get additional skid plates here for the transmission and the transfer case. They're just a little bit more bigger compared to the ZR2s. Out back, you guys will see you have these steel bumpers. So with that being said, you basically have a more overbuilt truck for the trails. Ford does not offer any upgrades for the bumpers or any extra skid plates. So in reality, the skid plates you can get on a FX4 truck, you basically get on this truck, I'll be honest. So this is the standard bumper, and nothing wrong with it. Obviously most people would be okay with that. Now they do give you the availability to go with chrome, so if you don't want painted bumpers, this truck has a sport package on it. So if you would like, you can get chrome bumpers on your build. And as you would expect, it's going to be the exact same out back. Now one thing I like about the Chevy is you do have recovery hooks in the rear, and that's not available for the Tremor. Now let's go back up front. Although Ford does not have a more aggressive off-road bumper, they do give you the availability from the factory to get a worn winch. Now if you look at this bumper on the ZR2, AEV, which is American Expedition Vehicle, basically designed this bumper to take a winch. However, Chevy decided not to build it with them. So you cannot, from the factory, get a winch. And my opinion is they should have offered this truck standard on the AEV package with that winch, because this truck's expensive and this package is, I mean, it's almost $10,000, right? So I feel as though with the Ford, you can get the winch from the factory, right? But I don't like the bumper design for the winch. And that's where I think Chevy and Ford could kind of steal stuff from each other. I mean, the manufacturers do it all the time. They steal stuff from each other all the time. I think hopefully for the refresh on the Ford truck in the future, maybe they'll offer bumpers that can upgrade these. That way you can get the winch and it will be more, I guess, suited for that factory winch. Let's talk about trim levels. I think that Ford has done a great job with their offerings. This is an XLT, which is basically a step up from a work truck, okay? This is obviously a Tremor, right? So you can get the Tremor package from the XLT all the way up to the Platinum. So you can basically get it on 4 different trim levels: XLT, Lariat, King Ranch, and Platinum. And what that means is you can buy this truck at different price points. For example, this truck right here is $85,000. And that might seem like a lot of money when you consider the interior, but you still get a lot of nice comfort features. I mean, it comes pretty loaded despite what you see on the interior. I mean, this truck has LED headlights, right? It has painted bumpers. It has the off-road wheels and tires, high clearance steps. This truck also has a sport appearance package, which gives it the painted bumpers, obviously. 5th wheel prep package there. And this truck still has parking sensors, okay? Now, when you think about the ZR2, unfortunately, on this truck, Chevy only gives it to you in this trim level, so you can't upgrade a LT or LTZ or even a High Country to fit this extreme off-road prowess, unfortunately. And I think that a High Country off-road would be kind of cool. Now here's something else that Chevy could learn from Ford. You can only get the ZR2 in a 2500 HD. I really do believe that most people buying these trucks are probably going to want a 350, because if you are looking to tow a trailer, you're going to get more payload with an F350, right? And with Chevy, well, let's take a look at the payload. This truck has a payload. Now, let's just be clear. This is a higher spec truck. I mean, this one also has that tonneau cover. It has a lot of features. I did a separate video. This one also has a sunroof, so it's loaded up, okay? Now, this truck has a payload of 2,608 pounds. Ford has 4,000. Now, as I said earlier, this is a lower trim level, so no leather seats, no sunroof, doesn't have a lot of the amenities that Silverado over there has, okay? Now, if this was a platinum trim level, F350, this truck would have, with the winch, probably around 3,600 to 3,700 pounds of payload. If it was an F250, it'd have around maybe 3,000 pounds of payload. With this Chevy Silverado, if you took off the AEV package, you'd have around 3,000 pounds of payload. So if it were me making the decisions at Chevy and at GMC, I would have offered the ZR2 package in the 1-ton segment only, because I feel as though they would have had more orders on these trucks, because you lose so much payload with that. And let's talk about the axles. Out back, you guys know you have lockers on both trucks, okay? And on the Chevy, they have an open diff. On the Ford, they have a LSD, which is limited slip differential. The reason why they didn't offer a locker on the front with this Chevy is because they felt like it was too much weight being added to the truck with the axle they would have to use. So again, they should have offered it with the 1-ton segment. As far as the wheels and tires go, I do like what Chevy offers better. They have 2-wheel options, this AEV wheel, and then the standard wheels look just as nice. Ford only gives you this one. I think they should do a blackout like they did for the 2022 Ford Tremors. Those are my favorite wheels. If I were to get a Tremor, I would 100% switch off the wheels to those, because they look so much better than these. That's just my opinion, obviously. They both have the option to have high clearance steps and power deployable running boards, but I think that's pretty much it. I think both trucks have nice offerings. They do a lot of nice features. For example, they're off-road trucks, right? They both come standard with full-size spare tires with matching wheels on both sides. You can get the gas engine, diesel engine, doesn't matter. They both have 10-speed transmissions. They've done a great job for the most part. I think that they can learn something from each other for the next redesign and the next refresh.